Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Joining us on the phone, author Thomas J. Hine, more than an author, of course. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Charles. I feel like I'm returning home. My mom was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, although, she lives in Massachusetts now, but I always have fond memories of hearing about her childhood. So good morning.
Well, good morning to you. Now, you have a new book out called The Balanced Wealth Approach. And at first, I was skeptical when I picked this up because I've seen plenty of books of people telling you how best to spend money that they don't have to use. And I always enjoy those books that tell you, surefire investment strategies for you to become a millionaire by a certain date. And those books are great right up until you wreck your car, have a kid that needs braces, whatever. And they're the kind of books that, seem like they're not really helpful. You have an entirely different concept in regards to helping people, and it's about helping yourself. First off, tell us a little bit about where you got the idea to write a book about changing the way people feel about taking care of themselves.
Yeah, thanks, Charles. And it's a great question, and it's near and dear to my heart in that over the years of doing wealth management for clients all over the country, I noticed a pattern that many of them got to their late 50s, early 60s, and had these what we call health scares, right? Some were a cancer scare or heart attack or whatever, and they survived them. Many of them survived them, thank God, but some of them didn't. And I realized as a wealth advisor, I thought I could be doing more because I didn't want to see my clients or the firm's clients that have worked so hard get to this point in their life where they want to spend time with their children, their grandchildren, their community, and not be able to do it, right, because of a health reason. So having witnessed many real-life scenarios where clients passed away before life expectancy of what doctors would say are now preventable, diseases, I thought, my gosh, I've got to get more information out there to people so they can become CEO of their own health and they can educate themselves and be more proactive. That's exactly why I wrote it.
And a lot of people can, again, tell you what to do with money. And I will say this, there is a certain mindset of particularly driven individuals who are really money focused. They think every single day, earning that dollar, so to speak, the hustle, doing whatever they can to get ahead at the expense of their body and their well-being. And you have some great points in your book about taking time for yourself.
Absolutely, Charles. In fact, one story I tell, although this applies to anyone of any net worth, but one story I tell of is a client many years ago in Texas worth millions and millions of dollars, far beyond what this person needed, he and his wife, to live comfortably. But every time I was doing a review with him, this is, of course, well before Zoom, but I noticed that they were running from doctor to doctor, and it seemed to me that the money was being used not necessarily in a joyous fashion, but almost repairing the damage done by all those years of just hard work. And that's when it occurred to me that it doesn't always have to be about money. Of course, we know money is important. It pays the bills. You help send kids to college. But if you're focusing on that, Charles, and you're ignoring, your blood pressure, your A1C, your vitamin D level, you're ignoring those at your own risk because today doctors can tell you a lot more about that data and how important it is for you to know about it, and more importantly, how you can take action to improve it. So yes, there's a lot more people can do today, and you don't have to be a multimillionaire to do those things to put yourself in the right position.
And you handle millions of dollars for clients and advise them. I mean, that's your original career and what you've been focusing on. And then you switched to being an author for this book. It's neat to see how you suggest ways that people can get a hold of their health issues early when it's less expensive to take care of. And we're not talking simple things like less stress around the office, like having a sandbox to play in on your desk.
Right. No, we're talking about things that, again, that with the advent, over the last, umpteen years of YouTube and all these things, the advent is very clear that sleep, diet, and exercise, we have control over those. We may have hectic schedules. Everyone has things to juggle. But if we have control and be mindful of those, we can do a lot of good things to live healthier and longer. And one example I point out, Charles, that's well known in the medical community is whenever there's daylight savings time, that shift of an hour, we think, well, what's 1 hour make a big difference? Studies around the world have shown that events of cardiac arrest and car accidents spike the day after we do the daylight savings time adjustment, which is one of the reasons why Congress and others looked into maybe there's a way to not have that change in 1 hour, because the medical community can tell you exactly and that's 1 hour of sleep difference, right? So that alone should give us an idea that what does that mean over your lifetime? If 1 hour over one day affects it. And the same thing with diet and exercise, that, a 10-minute walk a day, a 15-minute walk a day from someone who's not used to doing anything can be a huge improvement, on their journey. And I say this as a wealth advisor is I've seen too many people focus on the almighty dollar, and at the end, they don't have, that joy to go along with it because they're spending time battling that. So you're correct. You really have to look at both along the way. And clients that have millions of dollars have more choices, absolutely, but they also have the same risks. If they don't watch their diet or go for walks or do yoga or Pilates, they're going to have the same outcome because we're all based on the same genome, right? We're all 99.9% similar.
Thomas J. Hine, author of The Balanced Wealth Approach, Secrets to Living Long and Living Rich. If folks want to find out more about you or get their hands on a copy of the book, where should they go? Yeah,
so Charles, they can go to thebalancedwealthapproach.com. So it's the title of the book with a .com at the end of it. Or Amazon, obviously, Amazon and Books A Million, places like that. And either way, we'd love to share the wisdom. I also recorded a book on Audible, so they can actually listen to the book. If they don't want to read it, they can listen to it in their car on Audible. And in the end, I want to share as many nuggets of information for your listeners that can help them on their journey.
And if somebody has, say, $70, $80, $90 million and needs a wealth advisor, are you available for that too?
I'm certainly available, and I would even work a little bit after hours if I had to connect with them after hours on that. Sure. Absolutely, Charles.
Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great day.
Thanks, Charles. Take care.